And then my brother pulled up. This is my twin, by the way. He wear glasses like me. Stop playing. That's my brother. That's just safe for like putting in contacts. Exactly. He just ain't put the contacts in. Mama gonna be mad at you for pulling me over, bro. Mama is gonna whoop your ass when you get home, bro. You forgot we share the same house? You stupid, bro. I'm telling this, bro. I'm telling. I don't care. I don't care nothing.
Can you please come out here and help me, Dad?
No problem.
Oh, Dad's here.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Dad.
I'm proud of you for getting this far, bud.
Oh, that's a good pile of shavings. Your cotton balls get wet, they won't light. So I vacuum sealed these cotton balls in case they get wet. So just go and kind of cut open the top of that. See the sticks with the moss on it? Feel how wet that moss is? That moss, even when it's dry, it doesn't like to burn. So stuff with moss on it, it'll burn. And you see how that's dry? You don't want to lay it down here on the wet table. This thing's dry on the inside, so we're gonna put all of our dry wood inside that thing to keep it dry, okay? Your firewood was all dry last night, right?
Kind of.
And you could have dried it by the fire, right?
Yeah.
And then you could have taken it inside your tent or underneath the awning and kept it safe, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how I learned that?
How?
By not doing it and then realizing, oh, my firewood's wet. so now you're learning too. Nice flat piece. We'll build our fire on top of that so that we're not down in the mud. No, just one cotton ball. Oh, they got it. Now stick the torch in quickly. Now it's really starting to go. The bigger stuff. Lay it on there. Pieces like that.
Can you please come out here and help me, Dad?
No problem, yeah.
Let's hit the follow button, guys.
I actually don't think you're thinking anything. I think what you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. And the reason why...
The black suit? What am I doing in the black suit? I hate this thing. Stay calm, young Pete.
For many people at home, they are wondering how these tariffs could affect their household. So we are breaking down what items at the grocery store could spike, what this could mean for gas prices, and how soon we could see prices climb when these tariffs take effect. As President Donald Trump prepares to impose tariffs on Canada and Mexico this Saturday, many consumers are bracing for price hikes. But which items could spike the most? Phil Lempert, food industry analyst and editor of the Supermarket Guru, explains.
About 63% of all of our vegetables come from Mexico. When we look at, fruit and nuts, about 50% comes from there. If we take a look at our meat that comes from Canada, this is not something that's going to have a good effect for consumers anytime soon.
He says consumers can expect to see increases on items like avocados, berries, tequila, beer, cooking oils, and meat products. Limpert says consumers should also brace for higher prices at the pump.
Gas prices are going to go up. That's what we get from Canada. Also, if you take a look, a lot of our U.S. cars are actually assembled and parts come from Mexico. So we're going to see the price of cars go up.
There may be people at home thinking today is the day I've got to rush out and get all of my groceries. Got to fill up on gas now because it's about to go down. What would your response be to that?
Don't panic. It's going to take weeks for these things to take effect, whether it's higher prices, whether it's shortages.
Do you think that we will start seeing shelves look the way they did during the pandemic?
I do think that when we look at our produce department, that's where we're going to see empty shelves. One other thing that we do get from Canada are a lot of cut flowers. So leading up to Valentine's Day, we might have a shortage of cut flowers as well.
In a statement to ABC News,
this would also be the time that Sonic would get a slight redesign, as his logo when he first debuted from the Genesis era simply wasn't cutting it anymore. The team felt that his design was outdated and was long overdue for a change. Art director Kazuyuki Hoshino observed that other popular video game mascots at the time were achieving relevancy again by implementing indie music and urban street fashion as an influence to their design. The plan was to implement this idea within Sonic's new design. An internal contest within Sega was held, and a draft of potential redesigns for Sonic was created. Among many other Sega employees who worked on the concept art, the winner of this contest was none other than Yuji Uekawa, and safe to say, they made the right decision. I also want to take a moment to appreciate something here. Look at this sick-ass, raw-ass, Sonic Adventure-ass pose. This singular drawing of Sonic goes so hard and cemented the slick and effortlessly cool style of Sonic. This will be the time that Sonic would get a slight redesign, as his logo when he first debuted from the Genesis era simply wasn't cutting it anymore. The team felt that his design was outdated and was long overdue for a change. Art director Kazuyuki Hoshino observed that other popular video game...
The joke has become a reality. What is this timeline that we are currently in? Yes, you are reading that correctly. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. The joke from that episode is real, and it is just straight up Animal Crossing. Listen, I'm not even mad at this at all. This is hilarious in a whole bunch of different ways. The fact that this is on the PC, one, you know, if Nintendo is not going to put an Animal Crossing game or any other games on PC, fuck it, Hello Kitty it, sure. Yeah. And two, I literally saw that this had released today, and I thought it was like an April Fool's joke in January.
This might just be the coolest thing I own out of my entire Spider-Man collection. Today I received a package from the kind folks over at Fan Home, and a package that allows you to assemble your very own Iron Spider suit from Avengers Infinity War. So the first thing they send you to PC...
Two twins. Come closer. Partner. Two twins. Come closer. Partner. Two twins. Come closer. Thank you, bro. Well, no, you ended up with the guy. Oh, yeah. But my emotes. Can you do it again? Yeah. Because I'll just. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Thank you, bro. You get it? Well, no, you ended up with the guy. Oh, yeah. But my emotes. Can you do it again? Yeah. Because I'll just. Damn. I didn't know it was that much people. Biggest logo downgrades in existence. First off, we got Hawaiian Punch. What the is this? Bro, tell me whole time. whole time when I was a kid, I thought this motherfucker's hair was red. What is this? What kind of hat is this? Ain't no way. Ain't no way this is a hat, bro. They ruined this guy. And where are his shoes? He's barefoot. What was Doritos thinking when they switched the logo from this to this? Lost all of its aura, man. This is when I stopped eating Doritos, bro. I mean, this looks like some AI-generated logo. Terrible. Doritos, you need to go back, bro. The old one was fire, dude. Like, it was just cool. The old logo just looks like it's from the 2000s. The new one is horrible. And we got the same thing going on with Gatorade, bro. Why do y'all have a G now? What the fuck is this? The old Gatorade logo was fucking dope. It was just a lightning bolt. At least I think that's what it is. Now, what? A G? Are we drawing the big gallon guy from science class? What the fuck is this? Bring back the lightning bolt! You know, the Mountain Dew ones are actually interesting. None of these are terrible. Now, don't get me wrong. None of these are terrible. Okay, Mountain Dew is definitely doing a lot better than Gatorade. But we need to go back to this era. Okay? Look at this logo and tell me it doesn't match up with the old Doritos logo. You know what I mean? It's just dope as fuck. It reminds me of Halo for some reason. Like, bro, this one was dope as fuck, dude. Y'all definitely got to go back to this. The old ones, they aight. The new one, definitely ass compared to this one, okay? Bring back this one. The Apple logos are crazy, bro. First off, right off the bat, what in the Alabama cause of fucking fuck is this? I don't even know what that is. I can't even tell what it is from here. Let's zoom in. Hey, I have no idea what this is, but this shit looks creepy as fuck. We need to go back to this one, though. This one is definitely the best one out of all of them. But they're all pretty trash. I'm not gonna lie. Apple, you're slacking. Y'all cannot tell me this is not the best Xbox logo. Okay? Look at this one, and now look at the new one. I mean, if this doesn't prove that new logos have no character to them, I don't know what does. Okay? This is horrible. Like, why are we going back to just the most plain shit ever? Like, look at PlayStation, okay? PlayStation's not as bad, but where's the color? Alright, where is any of the character in this shit, dude? Goodness, man. All these companies need to hire me, and I will bring this shit back, bro. Let me know if y'all want me to cover some more logos in the future. Because I don't see nobody talking about this enough. All these logos now are horrible. Biggest logo down.
Shout out my streamers, but this ain't no Airbnb. This is not, we don't pay rent here.
He's talking about we don't pay rent here. Are you literally selling your jewelry and your cars and shit because you don't have bread? Isn't the IRS dead-ass auctioning off your fucking chains?
Shout out my streamers, but this ain't no Airbnb. This is not, we don't pay rent here.
He's talking about we don't pay rent here. Are you literally selling your jewelry and your cars and shit because you don't have...
As we floated there in the middle of the ocean, we...
Crazy.
You were a way better leader than I ever was. So lead Sector V.
But it won't be Sector V without you.
It was before, and it will be after. Which, guys, listen up. Even if we never see each other again, just promise me one thing, that you'll never grow up. Even if you're 100 years old and don't remember a thing about our times together, you'll still be a kid at heart, okay? So who's with me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kids next door! Goodbye. You were a way better leader than I ever was. So lead Sector V.
You guys were Ryan Toys Review. Did you know 8 years ago PewDiePie actually tried to save him? But if you have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, there's this kid He looks 20 and he's forced to make toy review videos. And people have been saying for years that they need to let him retire because he's getting too old to make these toy review videos. Well, PewDiePie saw it before all of us, and 8 years ago he actually tried to expose Ryan Toys Review parents and basically saying that's not how you're supposed to raise a child. The video first started off where he was just messing around, cracking some jokes here and there, but it started to get serious later in the video.
Okay, maybe it's music again. More energy, okay? Mommy needs some dollar. More energy. Mommy.
Becoming more clear every day that Ryan's Toy Review parents is just using him as a cash grab, apparently. Like most recently, they just came out with a movie and it had a $10 million budget. And it only made $624,000. That is awful. And the worst part about it, absolutely no one went to go see these movies. The movie theater's empty. You guys remember Ryan Toys Review? Well, did you know 8 years ago, PewDiePie
The flavor only 80s and 90s kids will understand. We definitely had this dish for dinner back in the day. When there was no bread, this was our solution. All the best food we had as kids came from that casserole pot. Today's kids just won't get it. There was something about a salad in a wooden bowl that made it taste different. Then there were the desserts, rolled up in toilet paper tubes.
Wooden bowl, bro. That's the tortilla chip bowl, homeboy.
Today's kids just won't get it.
The old tortilla chip bowl, the wooden one.
Oh, okay, yeah. What about it?
Oh no, he said that it was like a salad bowl. I was like, that ain't no salad bowl, homeboy. That's the tortilla chip bowl. You go into a restaurant and they have that bowl there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
There was something about a salad in a wooden bowl that made it taste
salad.
Then there were the desserts, rolled up in toilet paper tubes. Honestly, the taste of the paper tube was more memorable than the actual ice cream. Some kids thought butter roll was the best flavor, while others would only share that one. Reese's in those beautiful, beautiful ball forms.
Oh, the Reese's bites, those were good.
I swear that was the perfect popcorn. The original yogurt.
I don't know if you ever had those Reese's bites. It was like a little ball. Reese's, yeah, those used to make those. Those were so good. And then they used to have the Butterfinger balls. They just call them like BBs or something, like Butterfinger BBs, or. But they were like little balls.
PB bites.
Oh yeah, PB.
Peanut butter bites, you know.
Yeah, those were good too.
Get a hold of yourself, Eugene. I'm done with you.
We have a consumer alert for parents. Gerber's recalling edible teething sticks over a possible choking hazard. The baby food maker says it received customer complaints about children choking on what they call their soothe and chew sticks. At least one emergency room trip has been reported. The products were sold in stores across the country. Gerber's now working with the FDA on the recall and says it will discontinue the product. We have a consumer alert for parents. Gerber's recalling edible teething sticks over a possible choking hazard. The baby food maker says it received customer complaints about children choking on what they call their soothe and chew sticks. At least one emergency room trip has been reported. The products were sold in stores across the country. Gerber's now working with the FDA on the recall and says it will discontinue the product. We have a consumer alert for parents. Gerber's recalling edible teething sticks over a possible choking hazard. The baby food maker says it received customer complaints about children choking on what they call their soothe and chew sticks. At least one emergency room trip has been reported. The products were sold in stores across the country. Gerber's now working with the FDA on the recall and says it will discontinue the product. We have a consumer alert for parents. Gerber's recalling edible teething sticks over a possible choking hazard. The baby food maker says it received customer complaints about children choking on what they call their soothe and chew sticks. At least one emergency room trip has been reported. The products were sold in stores.
Getting extra food, extra calories, special treats that they don't normally get throughout the week. What is on the menu today?
barbecue chicken.
Bubble just proved that we're all going to be replaced by AI in just a couple years. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, Klemikov is basically a person that transformed himself into AI and doesn't even post regular content. The way we actually got to this point in his career is quite honestly crazy. His bro started off posting every single day for 10 years. He posted about 2 videos and even streamed for about 2 hours a day. But out of nowhere, he said he's going to quit and he's going to stop posting every single day and resort to posting better videos, but just less. Who knew him posting less is just him posting brain rot AI content. These videos are 10 seconds long. You need a 1-minute video to get paid. He's just doing it for the love of the game. He had the audacity to say AI isn't just for big tech companies, it's changing the way creators connect with their audiences. I'm not sure how you can think posting 10-second brain rot AI content is connecting with your audience. And bro hasn't gained a single subscriber in years. So I don't think this AI content's working. Bubblecop just proved that we're all going to be replaced by AI.
These folks are buying all the donuts because they want the owner to close up shop early so he can go home and take care of his ailing wife.
For nearly 30 years, John Chan has been behind the counter with his wife Stella.
Recently, customers noticed Mr. Chan was working alone.
How's your wife doing? People said, oh, we'll give you some money. We'll open a GoFundMe. He didn't want people to just give you money. No. John would not accept a handout, so his customers decided to try a buyer.
I would get a dozen donuts. Can't you give me 4 dozen? They came in the other day about 300.
By 7 this morning, the entire stock was sold. Not a single donut remained. These folks are buying all the donuts because they want the owner to close up shop early so he can go home and take care of his ailing wife.
For nearly 30 years, John Chan has been behind the counter with his wife Stella.
Recently, customers noticed Mr. Chan was working alone.
How's your wife doing? People said, oh, we'll give you some money. We'll open a GoFundMe. He didn't want people to just give you money. No. John would not accept a handout, so his customers decided to try a buyer.
I would get a dozen donuts. Can't you give me 4 dozen? They came in the other day about 300.
By 7 this morning, the entire stock was sold. Not a single donut remained. These folks are buying all the donuts.
All right, we haven't posted in like 4.
I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors. This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery store and gas at the pump. They will impede your access to an affordable supply of vital goods crucial for U.S. security, such as nickel, potash, uranium, steel, and aluminum. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago. But it doesn't have to be this way. As I've said before, if President Trump wants to usher in a new golden age for the United States, the better path is to partner with Canada, not to punish us. I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors.
We ended up putting a Ring camera under there that had a light on it, and found out that we have a giant bear in our crawl space. So.
Holy shit! There we go. Best way.
Scream unicycling. Badass, dude. Righteous. No lie, this is actually pretty cool. Like, it's impressive. That part.
The flavor only 80s and 90s kids will understand. I'm old enough to remember when ice cream came in a box. I can hear this photo. Kids who did this are probably in jail now. Lamau. But it was good though. This was all you needed for a birthday party back in our day. This is the only real cranberry sauce, and I won't accept any debate on that. These were the 4 best things the school served when we were kids. Who remembers this? I thought I was such a grown-up when I could eat 2 at once. This is not just delicious, it's a weapon. The flavor lasted 10 seconds, but those 10 seconds were pure magic. 90% of kids from the 80s think drinks tasted better in these containers. That candy sword was sharp as heck. Who remembers the toys and cereal? One of these could solve a lot of my problems right now. Back when you could eat Taco Bell while sober. The greatest 30 seconds of flavor you'll ever experience.
Taco Bell while sober.
When selling chocolates for the school, you always snuck a piece. Choose your flavor. I know it's hard. Have you ever had these? The flavor only 80s and 90s kids will understand.
Back then was really good.
I'm old enough to remember when ice cream came in a box. The most ridiculous food trend, the year you were born. 1960 to 1961. Jell-O salad. Fruity gelatin paired with meat and veggies, creating bizarre, wobbly creations that blurred the line between art and food. 1962 to 1963. Tang. The powdered orange drink that skyrocketed in popularity after being taken to space by astronaut John Glenn. 1964. Grape jelly meatballs. A cocktail party staple, blending grape jelly and chili sauce for an unexpectedly sweet and savory bite. 1965, canned pasta, ready-to-eat spaghetti in a can, with the debut of the iconic SpaghettiOs leading the charge. 1966, drinking man's diet, a diet plan that promised weight loss while encouraging whiskey and gin consumption. 1967, easy cheese, aerosol spray cheese marketed as a versatile topping for everything from crackers to fruit. 1968 to 1969, freeze-dried food, astronaut ice cream, and space-age meals that quickly became a novelty for earthbound consumers. 1970 to 1971, fondue, melting cheese or chocolate in a pot and dipping everything imaginable, fondue became the ultimate social food experience. 1972, cheese balls. Creamy, crunchy, and coated in nuts or herbs, these became a 70s party must-have. 1973, ham and banana hollandaise. A questionable mix of ham, bananas, and hollandaise sauce that confused taste buds everywhere. The most ridiculous food trend,
The Grammy goes to...
I love that there's so many fans of the Norton Hulk, the first true MCU Hulk. And many people have heard that it's because Edward Norton was hard to work with, that's why he didn't continue. But there's more to the story. Edward Norton himself talks about, I wanted to be involved in the writing. I didn't want to commit to something if I couldn't have a say in it. And Edward Norton wanted a darker, meaner Hulk storyline. The deep psychology of what it meant to be Bruce Banner and to deal with the Hulk on a regular basis. Many of you know about the Norton scene that was taken out of the movie. That was an unaliving scene because of the darkness that Bruce Banner goes through. He was bringing out the gun and everything in the Arctic. There is a notorious rumor that Edward Norton was hard to work with. He's a really good actor. I see it and I get it. I also like him as Bruce Banner. And it would be interesting to see him with the other Avengers, how that chemistry would have worked. I think it would have been pretty insane. Pretty good. One thing I loved about the Edward Norton Hulk is that all the scenes they showed about him meditating, working on his behavior, trying to protect the Earth from the Hulk, because he knew how vicious the Hulk was. And then Marvel and Disney went and did something a little different, as you all know. I love that there's so many fans of the Norton Hulk, the first true MCU Hulk. And many people have heard that it's because Edward Norton was hard to work with, that's why he didn't continue. But there's more to the story. Edward Norton himself talks about, I wanted to be involved in the writing. I didn't want to commit to something if...
I bet you did not know if you have...
Apparently, using my child support on myself is wrong.
I bet you did not know if you have these, this could help. I'm telling you.
Things that quietly disappeared in America, today's kids will never experience. There used to be cigarette vending machines everywhere with no age verification, completely relying on honesty. Why on earth did they stop making the delicious Choco Taco? When we were kids, you could always see blimps flying by. Where did they go? Anyone remember seeing that white dog poop? I haven't seen it in over a decade. Have you noticed there are fewer little bugs on windshields these days? We used to see them all.
Well, the first time you...
Things that quietly disappear. Shields these days. We used to see them all the time. And what happened to those little red spiders? They seem to have completely vanished. When exactly did Disney remove or shut down these types of stores? And why did they do it? I haven't seen Ronald McDonald in ages, and I miss those benches. Today's kids won't believe it, but there used to be ashtrays on car doors. Cereal companies don't give away real toys anymore. Those surprises when you open the box are long gone. The once popular pager has completely become a thing of the past. It's hard to find a park with a sandbox anymore. Did you experience any of these? Things that quietly disappeared in America.
Well, first time using my health allowance card. Let's see if it works. Oh, I guess it does.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the health allowance card. This card gets reloaded $500 month to month. Let me show you guys how to get it. Okay, so this is the main screen right here. First, we're gonna start with your zip.
Do that. What you mean? Hold on, I gotta glaze you. Stop. You from Holes, bro. I gotta glaze you real quick, gang. Nice to see you, bro. You look sharp. Bro, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on right now, bro. Yeah. Do that. What you mean? Hold on, I gotta glaze you. Stop. You from Holes?
We all love shiny Pokemon. They look so cool. Well, some do, but most people don't want to spend hours looking for one, so Game Freak decided to give you some for free. In Gen 2, you can catch the beautiful red Gyarados in the Lake of Rage, which is shiny due to Team Rocket causing radio waves, which somehow caused Magikarp to evolve abnormally into a red Gyarados. In Black and White 2, if you smash Benga in the Black Tower or White Tree Hollow, he will submit to you and will give you a shiny Gibble in Black 2, or shiny Dratini in White 2, shiny Garchomp or shiny Dragonite. I don't know which is better. If you manage to see every Pokemon in the Unova Dex, catching is not needed. Professor Juniper will give you a permit. Fly over to Mistralton City, and Skylar will fly you all the way over to the Nature Preserve, where you can catch an absolutely majestic Haxorus. Wow, Black and Red complement each other so well. In Legends Arceus, when you are doing Quest 19, a peculiar Ponyta, you can find an adorable shiny Ponyta just chilling in the Obsidian Fieldlands. It sucks that when shiny Ponyta evolves into Rapidash, it loses its beautiful blue flames and gets whatever this is. Follow. We all love shiny Pokemon. They look so cool. Well,
Athletes do dumbass things if it improves their performance.
Back in 2006, there was this viral trend where female shot putters were doing a one-handed cartwheel before releasing the ball. And while this new technique started at the high school level, it quickly made its way up to the collegiate level, and it even appeared on the professional circuits in Europe. Now, there were some online message boards back then where some coaches were claiming that it was adding 4 to 6 feet to some of their athletes' throw. So you gotta ask, if it was so good, why don't we see this technique being used anymore? Well, for starters, let's look at the fundamentals of shot put. While standing inside of the circle, it's who can put or throw a heavy ball which can be shot the furthest. Now, it's hard to quantify when shot put actually started because the idea of who can throw the furthest, it's kind of always been a simple way to measure strength and skill. But the first evidence of stone or weighted throwing events were in the Scottish Highlands. That dates back to the 1st century. And the modern shot put that we have today is likely a resemblance of the old military competitions where soldiers would hurl cannonballs as far as they can. So as you can imagine, over the years, there have been many innovations in form of technique because athletes are always going to find ways to try to improve their performance. For example, the original technique, which is often still the way young athletes are first taught, is called the side shuffle technique, where most of the propulsion and force comes from the arm. But then in 1951, Perry O'Brien invented a new technique called step back technique, and it later became known as the glide technique. Now with the glide, the athlete isometrically preloads their muscles while facing backwards and then rotates 180 degrees across the circle to toss the shot. And this helps increase the length of the path that the ball can accelerate. And then in the 1970s, Alexander Baryshnikov began using the spin technique, which is where the athlete begins facing the rear of the circle and then rotates around on the ball with one foot while the swinging extended leg is quickly brought in tight to generate high rotational speed. Similar to how a figure skater spins faster when they bring their arms in tight, while the cartwheel will also generate rotational momentum, as once the legs whip down, the athlete's upper body can't help.
Deadpool is playing video games at an arcade when a mailman suddenly interrupts him and hands him a letter. The letter is from a little boy named Peter who wants to hire Deadpool with his $7 allowance to kill the nightmares that keep bothering him. Using the mailman's car, Deadpool drives to Peter's house. When he arrives, Peter eagerly shows him around his room and begs him to get rid of the nightmares. Eventually, Deadpool agrees and heads out on the job. At Doctor Strange's sanctum, Deadpool manages to break in, finds the amulet of Agamotto, and puts it on, wondering how it works. Just then, Wong attacks him, trying to take back the amulet, but Deadpool decides to simply jump out the window and use it. So when Deadpool crashes onto the ground, his soul leaves his body and enters the dream world, where he meets the King of Nightmares. Deadpool tells him to stop casting nightmares on Peter because it's really bothering him. The King of Nightmares hesitates, but then agrees on the condition that Deadpool never returns as he's very annoying, and so Deadpool swears to the terms and conditions. A portal then opens up, revealing Peter's nightmare. It turns out it was actually Peter's babysitter constantly scolding him and talking down to him, and not the King of Nightmares. Deadpool takes one last look at him, grabs the amulet around his neck, and breaks its chain. Back in the real world, he then rushes to Peter's house, finds the babysitter, and gives him a rough beating, eventually kicking him down the stairs, where he would lie there with his injuries. Deadpool then kneels down and tells Peter that he owes him $7. Deadpool is playing video games at an arcade when a mailman suddenly interrupts.
things we experienced in the 90s that kids today will never experience. The 90s TV cabinet. I remember you had to push on the glass doors to open them. Remember watching the pipe screensaver? Having 100 of these discs scattered around your house. I can feel them and even taste them. All of mine had bite marks. I was young and hungry, what can I say? The old volume bar. That looks a little too loud. Turn it down a bit.
The green volume
Remember the
bar.
visualizer in Windows Media Player? I'd spend hours just staring at it. This is what's missing today. Can we please bring back visualizers and Winamp? The clear craze of the 80s and 90s when everything was clear. From staplers and phones to Game Boys. I'm actually okay with bringing that trend back. I'm not a broke kid anymore, but these super cool styles are gone now.
Okay, only the OGs remember this.
Are Abby and Brittany, the conjoined twins, pregnant? Fertility specialist insights into what's going on. They're the most famous conjoined twins in recent time. They have 2 heads, 2 spinal cords, duplicated upper organs, but they share one lower body. Now, this is how identical twins form. There are an embryo that splits into 2 that are completely equal and are 2 individuals, but in some cases they don't split completely and they remain attached. So they have 2 separate stomachs, 2 separate heads, 2 sets of lungs. But when it comes to the reproductive organs, and also urinary, bladder, uterus, and the pelvis, they have just one. And that means their nervous system, the innervations, are shared. They have a pregnancy. It's in a shared reproductive system. They will share the sensations. They will share the contractions of childbirth. They have been quiet about how sexual functioning works. They have been quiet about how the mechanisms and the feelings happen, and we respect their privacy. But it is entirely possible that since one of them has become married and they are able now celebrate to have a baby, that they're going to give birth.
The car that you couldn't buy unless you were a Japanese executive. This is the car that has an emblem that takes 6 weeks to hand make, only for people to replace it with a $50 grill they found on Alibaba. Today, we're talking about you wanting to own a Toyota Century, and here's what you need to know. Dubbed the best car in the world, the hand-built sedan has seen 3 generations across 58 years so far, with a 4th generation that we're going to ignore. Each car goes through the most meticulous building process in the history of car building that you need to know about. The body is hand-smoothed and sanded by hand before it goes through a 7-coat paint process to achieve its signature Kamui black look. The car is wet sanded 3 times between coats before the interior is even installed. And while the 276 horsepower V12 is what we can import into the States, the newer 3rd generation is equally cool at a 5-liter V8 and a sticker price of $180,000. The best version is to buy a 2nd gen, and as long as it has low mileage and you don't mind potentially never being able to find a replacement parts when it breaks, it's near the perfect car that you can throw on air suspension and working mitts, which is why we give it a 9.5 out of 10. Do you agree? Let us know below.
My big light just died on me, and I think I'm starting to run out of lights, so I'm going to go and call it a night before all my lights come out and I'm in the darkness.
The goal is to outlast and to
So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, everybody. I slept okay. There's a couple times I got up in the night, but it's super dark outside, so I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna whittle this and make some fluff, little shavings, so I can go and start the fire a lot easier. Just basically going to do that till the sun comes up. Put it right here on this battery box so I can attach it. Took a little nap when I fell asleep. I think it's time to make more shavings. Well, there you go. That looks like a healthy piece of tinder. So I'm going to take all this tinder and put it in the fire starter bag. So
Some Pokemon get paradox forms, some get regional forms, and some get mega evolutions. Pinsir's Mega is now bug and flying, which is a terrible combo. He looks pretty cool though. I like the horns and the wings. Pinsir's ability is now Aerolate, which makes all normal type moves flying type. Charizard's X Mega is now Fire and Dragon. And oh my goodness gracious, he looks so friggin' badass. He's an absolute monster on offense, and now has the ability Tough Claws, which powers up moves that make direct contact. Charizard's Y Mega looks alright. Its special attack is insane and now has a broken ability. Drought summons Harsh Sunlight once it enters the battle, which powers up Fire-type moves by 50%, and Water-type moves get weaker by 50%. Mega Banette has a great design. Its attack stat is ridiculous and has the Prankster ability, which prioritizes status moves. Mega Beedrill looks very sharp, has an insane attack and speed increase. It now has adaptability, which powers up moves of the same type. Mega Slowbro might be the goofiest looking Pokemon ever. He is a bulky boy and now has the ability Shell Armor, which protects it from critical hits. Cool. Follow for part 3. Some Pokemon get Paradox forms, some get regional forms, and some get Mega evolutions. Pinsir's Mega is now Bug and Flying, which is a terrible combo. He looks pretty cool though. I like the horns and the wings.
Here we
What happens when you drop a lightsaber vertically? Now, we've seen this moment twice in pop culture. First in Rick and Morty, where Morty drops a lightsaber vertically.
Thanks, kid, but let's talk more melon slanging. Heads up.
And we see it again in the Robot Chicken episode with Qui-Gon Jinn.
It's almost open. Hold on to this.
Both times the lightsaber stays on, but is that realistic? A lightsaber, if it existed, would be a plasma blade contained within a magnetic field, and it would burn at incredible temperatures, roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. When it's turned off, the energy cutting the plasma beam would dissipate, but what happens when it's just dropped? The gravity on Earth would pull the lightsaber straight down. Because of its cylindrical shape, there's no way for it to stop itself if it lands vertically. The saber would start tearing into the Earth's crust, but it likely wouldn't be able to make it any deeper than the deepest hole ever dug on Earth, the Kola Super Deep Borehole, at 40,230 feet or 12,262 meters deep. It wouldn't be able to go any deeper because at this depth, the temperature was 356 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius, which is significantly hotter than scientists initially expected. This extreme heat would actually be able to melt the hilt of the lightsaber and cause it to malfunction, the same reason why drilling operations in the Russian digging project were eventually stopped. What happens when you drop a lightsaber?
Did you know that you can get rid of the rings here in Superman 64? All you have to do is go to options. Once you're in options, go to difficulty. You see where it says normal? All you have to do is choose easy mode. Select the new game. See, look, no rings. All you have to do is fly around and follow the arrow. You just fly around until you find the big S. That's it. But did you also know the only way to unlock multiplayer mode is to do this? Go into your options mode. Go all the way down to your difficulty. And guess what? Turn it on to Superman mode and beat the entire game on Superman mode. That's how you unlock multiplayer. Did you know that you could get rid of the rings here in Superman 64? All you have to do is...
Yo, the glitter conspiracy is a rabbit hole you are not ready for. So I didn't know this, but there's legit only like 2 main manufacturers of glitter in the world, both of which are based in New Jersey, of all places. And yes, I'm talking like regular glitter, the same stuff you use in arts and crafts. One of these companies is like super secret and private, that apparently invented glitter themselves and is very hush-hush about everything. And the other is GlitterX. No one really thought much of it until it came out that we actually have a worldwide shortage of glitter back in 2018. Kind of a weird thing to be short of. So a journalist from the New York Times went in to interview the team at GlitterX to find out. She casually asked if she could tour the factory, and surprisingly, GlitterX told her absolutely not. Like, there was no debate about it. She was strictly not allowed to see how glitter was made, and wasn't even allowed to be in a nearby room to even hear how it's made. So instead, she was just left to interview a manager at the company, and things just kept getting sketchier. She asks the manager if she could tell her what industry serves as her biggest market, and the GlitterX rep instantly, without hesitation, tells her, no, I absolutely cannot tell you. Confused, the journalist asks her if she knows who their biggest customer is, and she replies with, oh God, yes, and you would never guess it. Let's just leave it at that. Asking why she can't talk about it, she responds by saying because they don't want anyone to know that it is glitter, and that if you looked at it, you wouldn't even know that it's glitter. The journalist then asks if you'd even be able to see the glitter at all in the finished product, to which the manager replies, oh, you'd be able to see something, but it's
Yeah, I can't. And this interview single-handedly sparked the great glitter rabbit hole of the internet. Apparently, these clients that purchase glitter are all under a very strict confidentiality clause with GlitterX. They really do not want people to know that their products are made from the sparkly stuff. The industry these products are part of is clearly massive, yet no one knows what it is. So what even is glitter? By definition, it is aluminum metallized polyethylene terephthalate, essentially plastic that has been aluminized and shredded into tiny specks that sparkle. And it's used in a lot of things, from credit cards, passports, currency, football helmets, cosmetics, jet skis, granite countertops, even toothpaste, allegedly. But none of these are quite big enough to be this top industry buyer of glitter. One of the leading theories is that this biggest glitter industry is for boat paint, which many manufacturers do admit they use it in their boats. And they don't want people to know about it because of how much microplastics in the glitter these boats are really dumping into the ocean, which is a hot topic these days and is why they'd want to keep it such a secret. Others claim that it's being dumped into beaches to make the sand sparkle, or that it's just Crest toothpaste and we're rubbing the microplastics directly into our gums, as well as for use in military applications, which would...
This guy died and said that he went to heaven and he made a song out of what he heard. We're gonna play it on the plate. This is the frequency of green light / Polaris. You guys are gonna be amazed. It's pretty much strictly green light and cross patterns. I haven't seen any songs do this. Because the song is so loud and like heavy sounding, the sand flies off the plate because it's so powerful. The clips are pieced together just because I kept resetting it so that the frequencies were as visible as possible.
Teenagers keep stealing our candy, and I figured out how they're doing it. They keep coming into my wife and my video rental store every night, and when we're not looking, they're taking a nickel and they're wrapping it in a bit of tape. I got some duct tape here, and they wrap it like this so that it's thicker than the nickel should be. They're calling it a sticky Benny, is what the kids are calling it. I hear them talking about it, obviously, because of the picture of Benjamin Franklin on the nickel. So they jamming this into the gumball machine, and once it's jammed in there, not only does it work with a nickel instead of a quarter, but you can keep turning that. See, it came back around. And every time you turn it, you get more candy. Look at that. Keeps going.
That's crazy. Let's show that.
Teenagers keep stealing our candy, and I figured out how they're doing it. They keep coming into my wife and my video rental store every night, and when we're not looking, they're taking a nickel and they're wrapping it in a bit of tape. I got some duct tape here, and they wrap it up like this so that it's thicker than the nickel should be. They're calling it a sticky Benny, is what the kids are calling it. I hear them talking about it, obviously, because of the picture of Benjamin Franklin on the nickel. So they're jamming this into the gumball machine, and once it's jammed in there, not only does it work with a nickel instead of a quarter, but you can keep turning that. See, it came back around. And every time you turn it, you get more candy. Look at that. Keeps going. Teenagers keep stealing our candy, and I figured out how they're doing it. They keep coming into my wife and my video rental store every night, and when we're not looking, they're taking a nickel and they're wrapping it in a bit of tape. I got some duct tape here, and they wrap it up.
You're gonna spam the screen, chat. If you spam the screen, it's gonna put it out on more people's feeds. We're gonna lock in. Zero X, welcome to the stream.
You grew up in the 90s. These were the most boring TV shows that came on TV. This is MASH. The theme song was boring. You knew when this came on, it was time to go to bed. Nothing else good was coming on TV once you seen it. My grandmother used to be knocked out in her chair, mouth wide open when this came on. Speaking of grandma, this was her favorite show, Matlock. Matlock used to move so slow, I did not know how he solved cases. I don't know why, but as a kid, Matlock always looked like the devil to me. But he was so nice, though, right? He was like Bob Barker's older brother. I always thought he was going to be a dirty cop, but he never was. Now, this show right here, this show, I knew there were a lot of grown weirdos in the world. When this show came out, I knew it was grown-up that made this show, and I knew that we had some weirdos. I would just want to show, like, it's not interesting, it's not smart. Last but certainly not least, we got Murder, She Wrote. She was a novelist.
Denny's original Grand Slam is still just $1.99.
Are you out of your mind?
Crazy. 2 eggs, 2 hotcakes, 2 bacon strips, 2 sausage links, just $1.99. Denny's Grand Slam from 5 a.m. till 10 at night, Monday through Friday, just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
And next week, will Denny's Grand Slam still be $1.99? Only if...
The best discontinued fast food from the 90s that kids today. I just made the coolest bracelet inspired by the older brother Porter study. It comes inside this really nostalgic Doritos-inspired bag. And
Silly bands. Hey, I'm gonna say it right now. It was one of the craziest time periods in fucking history, dude. If you didn't get to live through the Silly Bands era, let me break it down for you for a second. I'm pretty sure it was in 2009. One day you went to school, everybody's arms were just, regular. Nobody was wearing anything, and then boom! Everybody just somehow spawned rubber bands on their fucking wrist, and it was the craziest period of all fucking time. I'm trying to tell y'all, this was before the internet, where everybody just got on trends from TikTok and shit. There was no commercials, there was no news. It was one day everybody had no idea what Silly Bands were, and then everybody was going to CVS Pharmacy, Walgreens, wherever they could go to get them Silly Bands. And I'm talking about the OG ones. These ones right here. The animals. These were the original Silly Bands. And then all the big companies found out about it and started making them like Disney. And then you had the Spider-Man ones. I fucked with the Spider-Man ones. You had the NFL ones. There was hella Silly Bands, dude. And I don't know about y'all, but it's crazy to me that these are not a thing anymore. If you really look back then, dude, you would have thought that this would be like the shit for the next 30 years, dude. And we had a couple of phases that were close to this. We had the lube bracelets, and then we also had the fidget spinner phase, but dude, nothing was as crazy as Silly Bands, man. I'm not kidding, dude. One day at school, I remember me and my brother seeing
the flavor only 80s and 90s kids will understand. I can literally hear the squeaky sound of styrofoam just looking at this picture. Cotton candy, blue and pink, and the watermelon ones. Those were the best. Not the healthiest, but man, they were so good, weren't they? My mom would never let me buy any fruit roll-ups because I just play with them instead of eating them, making a complete mess. To this day, if I have a salad with a plastic lid, I shake it like crazy to make sure the dressing is evenly spread. Great idea. Waffle sticks, muffin tops, those little twisted pastry things. Those were the real deal back in the day. This clear Pepsi was all the rage in the 90s, and it even sold for $17,999 on eBay. In 2000, McDonald's came out with the McRib Jr., which had a smaller round pork patty inside. Once you got past the chocolate shell, basically like the wrapper, it revealed the surprise snack inside. It was the ultimate party snack, handing out bottles of chocolate soda pops on a Saturday night. How great would it be if McDonald's brought back the eggnog milkshake? Anyone ever had that burger? The taste still sticks with me. Do you remember all these?
Sounds crazy.
The flavor only 80s and 90s kids will understand. I can literally hear the squeaky sound of styrofoam just looking at this picture.
The Nintendo GameCube wasn't very popular. Despite its popularity today within the Nintendo community, when it came out, it only sold about 21 million units, making it one of the worst selling.
They gave me this.
How much did Dad's genes influence the child? First off, Dad determined.
Yo, Vega, I got a couple more 1v1s to run, bro. I don't know why everybody asking 1v1 me.
Pepper me, okay, I've got it.
This is
Tepache, a popular fermented pineapple drink from
Animated Justice League members dating each other. Starting off, we have Batman and Wonder Woman. They likely have a crush on each other. They've even made out before and been on a few dates, but Batman has told Wonder Woman he can't be in a relationship with someone on the team and that he has a lot of personal issues. Next is Green Lantern and Hawkgirl. They actually started off as rivals, but grew to love each other. They ended up having a son together who in the future became Warhawk, a new member of the Justice League. Moving on is Green Arrow and Black Canary. They have tons of relationships in the comics, so it makes sense that the animated series follows suit. They start off as friends, but it's clear Green Arrow was hit with Cupid's arrow at love at first sight. Supergirl and Brainiac 5. She met him while time traveling into the future, and after they fell in love, she decided to stay in the future. Yes, Brainiac 5 is a distant relative of Brainiac himself, but he's a hero and not a villain. And then there's Huntress and the Question. In the episode Double Date, the relationship between Huntress and the Question took center stage, where the faceless hero made a face reveal for the love of his life. In the DC AMU, a different continuity, Superman and Wonder Woman briefly had a relationship until they broke things off, but that is not related to this DC AU. Animated Justice League members dating each other.
A breakthrough discovery from NASA, a sample from an asteroid holding the building blocks of life.
The samples contain salts that formed in a liquid environment like a lake or maybe even an ocean, and organic molecules that are central to all life on Earth.
NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft returned 4 ounces of dust and pebbles from the asteroid Bennu, the biggest cosmic haul yet from beyond the moon. Researchers found amino acids and nitrogen in the form of ammonia. Scientists say it's the strongest evidence that asteroids may be the reason that life developed here.
This is telling us that not just the water, but some of the building blocks of life actually were seeded onto Earth and other planets.
And while this breakthrough might help solve why we're here, it raises other questions.
How did life on Earth originate? And also, what is the likelihood that there is life elsewhere in our solar system?
Andrew Dimbert, ABC.
Where did the idea come from?
I mean, whatever happened to the...
I see
So I went to an antique shop today and they sold me this old piggy bank. But I'm completely unsure how to get the money out that I put in there. Can anybody explain to me how I get the money out of this piggy bank? So I went to an antique...
This is what the average day looks like for a soda addict that drinks up to 36 cans a day. He starts every morning with 4 cans of Dr. Pepper on the way to the gym, 1 to 2 liters of water while working out, and then right back to sodas. He fills up an almost 3-liter bottle just to drink on the way home. When he starts work, he can get through around 9 cans in 30 minutes. And then at the end of the day, if he goes to the cinema, he'll get through 3 of these 900ml cups throughout the movie. Oh, and 6 to 12 cans right before bed. So at the end of this day, bro pounded almost 22 liters of soda. Now, in terms of how much money he spends, he says that he hustles the system hard with the buy 2, get free discounts. So although he cops roughly 21 12-packs per week, he says that he'll only spend around $40 to $50. But that doesn't account for the flavors and creamers that he adds to the soda to give it a little extra summon. Bro even bought a bigger car for when he does these soda hauls. And despite the addiction starting over 20 years ago, he says that so far he's had no health or dental issues related to the soda. Oh, and he's also from Utah. This is what the average day looks like for a soda addict that drinks up to 36 cans a day. He starts every morning with 4 cans of Dr. Pepper.
What is this thing? Some kind of candy? There's a dead bug. Guess it ate too much candy. A dead bug? I think it's safe to say you boys aren't from around here. What you got there is a revived bug. Just pop that guy in your mouth when you're tired and you get a big burst of energy. So it's kind of like a sensu bean, but instead of a bean, it's a bug. And what about those sparkly ones there? Those are join bugs. To use them, you have to split one with a buddy. Then they join you together and make you stronger to boot. Whoa, they even have fusion bugs. Gordito, over here.
The name's Glorio. What's up?
Hey, I like these bugs. Can we grab some for the road?
What bugs? Wait, any bugs, really?
We haven't sold any souvenirs in decades, so you fellas made my day. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thanks a lot for the bugs, Gordito.
It's still Glorio.
What is this thing? Some kind of candy? There's a dead bug. Guess it ate too much candy. A dead bug? I think it's safe to say you boys aren't from around here. What you got there is a revived bug. Just pop that guy in your mouth when you're...
I'm sorry to report. Your wife is in critical condition.
She was trapped under a landslide during the storm. She's awake, but unresponsive. A vegetative state? Exactly. The trauma has left her with no signs of awareness. And I'm afraid she may never recover. Sad to say, the woman you once knew was no longer there. I'm not entirely sure how much time she has left either.
We see that man come through a lot nowadays. I heard he's here to visit his wife. Oh. He brings her flowers every day, you know. I'm kind of envious. Oh, don't say that.
I want to hear your voice. I want to hear you laugh. Just once more. I want to see your smile. Just once more. Hey, Russian, look here. I found the same bonnet that our Gimlet used to wear. Don't I look like him? You used to say he had my face. I'll do anything. Just show me that smile. I'm sorry. That was a poor joke. Just imagine if somebody saw me. Russian.
So the current time loop, what I call it, that we're living out the year of 1961, the year of the snake. People already know that we are part of the Matrix, and this is just proof, historical events that's happened, that's re-happening. We all know that there was a plane crash in 2025, January. It had a U.S. skate team on board. We also know that there is a plane crash in 1961 with a U.S. skate team on board that plane as well. That happened in February of 1961. 61 in Bel Air fire, which was a very huge fire for that time period, and amount of business buildings and homes that were destroyed. Jump to January 2025, we have the Palisades fire alongside other fires in California. A lot of people have been talking about the crazy ass fog that's been happening in 2025 as well. Even someone tested it down in Florida. They tested it and said it had some sort of bacteria inside of it. It doesn't just stop there, but there was the Great Smog of 1961. That happened in January as well. Say that time is I believe it's a concept, because you've ever had that feeling like
a whole bunch of water got in my tank. We have pallets, and there's no holes in here. We covered up all the holes, so we don't know where this water came from. bunch of water got in my tank. We have pallets, and there's no holes in here. We covered up all the holes, so we don't know where this water came from.
Nike employees were given citations for wearing Jordans at Nike World Headquarters this week. And if you've gone to Nike's website recently, they've blocked out the product pictures of Jordan sneakers, so you can't even see the shoes you're trying to look at. Now, all this has to do with some creative marketing from Nike around this year being the 40th year anniversary of the Jordan 1 and when the Jordan 1 was banned from the NBA. This all happens just before their super limited $250 original take on the Jordan 1 is re-releasing and is backed up by things all across the globe, where Nike even used those same blocks to ban the shoes on the Jordan statue at the Chicago Bulls Arena, is now using a new social media account called the Nike Suit that's leading the charge behind giving out physical citations to Nike employees and literally making their website more difficult to shop, all to play into the story of celebrating 40 years of the Jordan 1. Nike employees were given citations for wearing Jordans at Nike World Headquarters this week, and if you've gone to Nike's website recently, they've blocked out the product pictures of Jordan sneakers, so you can't even see the shoes you're trying to look at. Now, all this has to do with some creative marketing.
Doom can literally run on anything. Someone got Doom to run on a PDF file, and they maybe just want to explore everything Doom can run on. It's become somewhat of a meme that Doom can run on literally anything, so it's time to just rapid fire everything that Doom has run on in the past. Are you ready? Here we go. Doom can run on 100 pounds of moldy potatoes. It can run on a pregnancy test. It can run on an Apple Watch, a MacBook Touch Bar, a printer. It can even run on a calculator. It can run on a single keycap on your keyboard. It can run on a single keycap, this old Sony phone. It can run on a kiosk. It can run on an ATM. It can even run on an iPod Nano. You can even run Doom on Doom. It can run on a treadmill, no pun intended. It can run on an ultrasound machine, and it can even run on a volumetric display. Okay, I'm sure there's much, much more. I don't know why people chose Doom to be the game that they run on random kitchen appliances, but it has a legacy, and a good one at that.
Every single emoji? Yeah, yo, literally, I think the original 72 emojis that they created for the Windows PC,
why they'll never be flying cars. We already.
Blackbeard has eaten not just 2, but possibly 3 devil fruits. How else could he have consumed the earthquake fruit when it usually has fatal consequences? In addition, Zoro and Luffy referred to Blackbeard as they, which could indicate that he possesses multiple souls or personalities. This is also supported by his Jolly Roger, which shows 3 heads. Additionally, he always carries 3 pistols and 3 knives, and wears his beard in 3 braids. Marco also mentioned that Blackbeard's body is strange, and as we know, he never sleeps. The answer to this mystery may lie in Vegapunk's statement that devil fruits are tied to the user's soul. This suggests that Blackbeard must have already eaten a fruit that allows him to possess multiple souls before consuming the darkness fruit. The only fruit that fits this description is the mystical Zone fruit of Baizi. This theory is further supported by Blackbeard's laugh, as many characters' laughs often reflect the name of their fruit, such as Whitebeard's Gura Gura no Mi. The Baizi is referred to as Haku Taku in Japanese, and if you combine the first and last characters of this name, you get Zeha, which is exactly Blackbeard's signature laugh. Blackbeard has eaten not just 2, but possibly 3 devil fruits. How else could he have consumed the earthquake fruit when it usually has fatal consequences? In addition, Zoro and Luffy referred to Blackbeard as they, which could indicate that he possesses multiple souls or personalities. This is also supported by his Jolly Roger, which shows 3 heads. Additionally, he always carries 3 pistols and 3 knives, and wears his beard in 3 braids. Marco also mentioned that Blackbeard's body is strange, and as we know, he never sleeps. The answer to this mystery may lie in Vegapunk's statement that devil fruits are tied to the user's soul. This suggests that Blackbeard must have already eaten a fruit that allows him to possess multiple souls before consuming the darkness fruit. The only fruit that fits this description is the mystical Zone fruit of Baizi. This theory is further supported by Blackbeard's laugh, as many characters' laughs often reflect the name of their fruit, such as Whitebeard's Gura Gura no Mi. The Baizi is referred to as Haku Taku in Japanese, and if you combine the first and
These gloves are impossible to take off unless you have a very high pain tolerance. These are lasting impression gloves by Surly Rex. From the outside, these look just like regular leather gloves, but taking them off might not be so pleasant. Outer layer of the gloves is Icelandic basking shark skin, but the inner lining is covered with real rose horns angled inwards, allowing the wearer to slide the hand inside with ease, but quite difficult to take off. Would you wear these gloves? These gloves are impossible to take off unless you have a very high pain tolerance. These are lasting
lasting impression gloves by zerox0s. From the outside, these look just like regular leather gloves, but taking them off might not be so pleasant. Outer layer of the gloves is Icelandic basking shark skin, but the inner lining is covered with real rose.
This fruit right here is the best thing that I've ever come across for energy. This is called noni. It's weird looking. This is how they look coming off the plant though. Look, as they start turning white, you know they're getting ready. But look, there's all type of fruits coming out. So as they coming out, I'm just gonna be chopping them things up and making juice out. Back in the day, I played football and my grandma gave me a bottle.
It still disappoints me that Chandler Riggs was literally Spider-Man and almost nobody knows about it because it was such a big flop. Call me overly optimistic, but when we first heard Chandler Riggs was going to be Spider-Man and we saw the trailer, I was excited. I thought that it would work and it would actually be pretty good. But then the film came out. The Spider starring Chandler Riggs as Spider-Man. A horror film and Spider-Man mesh that was supposed to be really exciting. And for both the Walking Dead fans and Spider-Man fans, this was a big milestone for Chandler Riggs. But when I tell you the marketing for this film was the most deceptive, inaccurate marketing I have ever seen, I mean it wholeheartedly. Honestly, it was shot pretty well, and it did follow the same starting point as the original Spider-Man movie. But the big problem, it was like 9 minutes long. The entire film. I'm talking start to credits, 9 minutes long. There was nothing else going on here. The way this was marketed was at least like an hour and a half long, mini movie type thing. It was a YouTube video. It was a YouTube video. It was not a movie. Chandler Riggs as Spider-Man was not even really a thing. It was more of a cosplay than anything. Nowadays, no one's going to actually consider Chandler Riggs as Spider-Man, but it would have been pretty cool if it all would have worked out. I think I would have been a fan. It still disappoints me that Chandler Riggs was literally Spider-Man and almost nobody knows about it.
It's the coffin for a 6-year-old boy who loved superheroes. Little Jacob Hall's grieving parents are calling him
Then you have elected a down payment of $100 and you did authorize that $100 down payment for today on your Visa card ending in 4429. And only if you do decide to go forward with your protection plan do you then
It's the coffin. We've got a case of the bumblefoot. I mean her. Typically it's an infection of their foot, but you do have to treat it. First thing I did was soak her feet. When this woman got her groceries delivered, she came across
This stupid, weak, annoying crybaby Axew just so happened to glow up into one of the most powerful Pokemon of all time. This is Iris, and this is Axew. These two met in the village of Dragons, where Iris decided to take him along on her journey to becoming a Pokemon master. But little did Iris know, this Axew was straight garbage. He would constantly get overpowered and captured, and he even lost a battle to Sealand's Pansage of all Pokemon. One day, Ash was about to hatch an egg, and Axew was excited to have a little brother. But little did he know this egg was going to hatch into this little menace of a Scraggy and start a fierce rivalry between the two of them, and Scraggy would indirectly push Axew to become way stronger. That's because when these two faced off for the first ever time, Axew wasn't being a little wussy and decided to battle his hardest to prove himself against Scraggy. Their battle was pretty evenly matched, as they both landed pretty solid blows on each other, until eventually the match ended in a draw with them both getting knocked out. After this battle, Axew realized that he's actually pretty tough, so he began his training arc to become as strong as
She pushed the tissue.
First thing ever committed was... I don't play World of Warcraft.
Butters, you said you're on your computer all the time.
Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I don't play World of Warcraft.
Jack was driving along a forest path when suddenly he seemed to spot something strange. With a look of shock, he got out of the car. There, in the distance, a cup of coffee was floating in mid-air. Jack slowly approached the airborne coffee. As he got closer and beheld this eerie sight, he reached out and knocked the coffee over. The coffee seemed to roll down some sort of invisible ramp before hitting the ground. Staring at this strange scene, Jack sank into deep thought. He tried to touch it, but was blocked by an unknown object.
After feeling around, he seemed to have felt a car tire. After a second of thinking, Jack punched forward, and some outlines of the surroundings emerged then, following the body of the vehicle.
The door. This dude's turning into a woman.
Do you know why Law's devil fruit is so expensive? The world government was willing to pay 5 billion berry for this fruit, more than Luffy's or even Shanks' bounty. It is known that Law's devil fruit can be used to make a person immortal, but perhaps there is a way to reverse this. This would be an immense threat to Imu Grosse, as it is believed that this fruit made them immortal. They therefore want to prevent anyone from revoking their immortality at all costs. They also want to prevent others from becoming immortal, because as we know, Saturn and Imu can cause illness to other living beings. A popular fan theory even suggests that Roger became fatally ill due to Saturn's influence, but Law's devil fruit could neutralize this ability. But there is a much more important reason. Doflamingo also said that with Law's devil fruit, he would be able to use Mary Joas' treasure. He alluded to the ability to swap people's personalities. He also mentioned that the power of the treasure is rotting away, suggesting that the body was being stored in a cold storage room. To use this body again, they need Law's devil fruit, which could be the body of Joy Boy or Nefertari D. Lily. Do you know why Law's devil fruit is so expensive? The world government was willing to pay 5 billion berry for this fruit, more than Luffy's or even Shanks' bounty. It is known that Law's devil fruit can be used to make a person immortal, but perhaps there is a way to reverse this. This would be an immense threat to Imu and the Grosse, as it is believed that this fruit made them immortal. They therefore want to prevent anyone from revoking their...
What school supplies do you have today?
Today we're playing the greatest Sonic game ever made.
Okay, Sonic?
That's pretty good.
Okay, what about Sonic Venture 2?
That's great.
Okay, what about Sonic Shuffle?
That's actual garbage.
What? Sonic R?
Sonic R is great.
Okay, what about Sonic and Knuckles?
And Knuckles and Knuckles and Knuckles and Knuckles. No. We're playing Sonic CD for the Sega CD. The Sega CD is so easy to hook up. All you need to figure out is which power lead goes where. Internal RAM is not initialized. Use the Sega CD control panel to format the RAM. Let's figure this one out. Let's go to memory. Let's go over here. It says please format. Press any button. Format. Yes. Format complete. Press any button. Let's exit. And let's hope that worked.
It's a supersonic flight, gotta keep it going.
I don't even need to play the game. That was incredible music. Let's watch the intro.
What is the chronological order to play the Pokemon games? In my opinion, this is it. Some games have time skips between them that can be better enjoyed if you take some time between games. That's why I recommend starting with the first generation in Kanto, playing Fire Red or Leaf Green, but then jumping straight to Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald. After that, the Heart Gold and Soul Silver games, which take place 2 years after the events of the previous games. They can be played together with the Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum games, which also provide good continuity for the Pokemon games we know so far and end the initial era of the franchise well. After that, I think that since Black and White 2 are separate games from the rest, they can be played at any time after knowing the first 4 generations. After that, we enter the 3 Disseconds era, playing X and Y and then Sun and Moon. One thing that I think is important to take it.
Now that we're out of sight, I'ma drop my pants and test my might. Daphne, get that spit going and start throwing that neck like the headless horseman. Velma, don't sit there, do what she's doing. Y'all fight for it like 2 starving junkyard dogs. Shaggy, Scoob, here's some perk 30s. Get to the back of the van, don't peek or speak. Let me enjoy these freaks. On Mystery Gang. The party don't stop till Freddy pop. Everyone get back in position. The camera's zooming back in on the whip.
These perks kicking in. Yes, Big Freddy. I gotta wipe my mouth right quick.
Like Zoinks, these perks got me feeling like Perk Angle. I'm tweaking like Kodak.
What the fuck an ambulance doing out here?
Let's do some meddling. Let's follow him, Big Freddy.
That's a bet.
Listen to my new mixtape, gang. Sorry, Scoops. Like, I think this Benjamin might not be real.
Now that we're out of sight,
I don't have customs on that one.
I'm
here for a quick inspection. I'm Yak, nice to meet you. How's everyone doing? I'm just here for a quick inspection. I did a great job of doing that, putting the fries in the bag, okay? How's it going, sir? Mr. Yak, nice to meet you. Sir, great job. Bueno, bueno, bueno. Nice to meet you, sir. Okay, this right here checks off. Where the frying machine is? The frying machine? The frying machine. You know what I gotta do? I gotta check these. Okay. That's good. This has to be right here. There we go. Oh, this Red Bull right here. This is a no-no. Do you know what this is? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, it's just right where the bread is and everything. You know, if it spills, it's gonna be a problem. So everything checks off. All right, great job, everyone. Thank you so much. You have a good one, man. I'm just here for a quick inspection.
Do you know why pressure cookers explode? In fact, the inventors built multiple safety features into the design of pressure cookers to prevent explosion.
Wally West just became a literal god. He is stronger than everyone in the Justice League and on another level of existence. You guys see these purple beings peering through the panel saying time must die? Well, yeah, these are called the Archangels. Before someone comments it, no, it's not Archangels. Even Wally himself asks the same question. These beings are so strong that they existed before creation. They view the multiverse to be a sheet of paper. They view characters like Superman, Flash, and other great heroes to be simple specks within the greater cosmos. The reason why this is important is because the Archangels state that Wally West is the best conduit. He's able to receive the most energy, channel the most energy through all the different forces within the entirety of the multiverse. This isn't something as simple as just a speed force or other barriers. It's every single barrier, every aspect of strength, every aspect of speed from all dimensions essentially relate to change or higher tiers of time. Barry Allen himself, who's been making a map of the multiverse, even says that time isn't constant because there's different layers and tiers, especially in the outer layers beyond the source wall with hyper time and etc. To put this in perspective, here's the last multiverse map. Despite it changing, everything within these rings have been defined. Everything outside of them, which is Overvoid, Creation, Michael, Lucifer, the Presence, those are higher tiers of time that we're referencing here. The Archangels do something very interesting because they want to destroy change from the multiverse entirely, higher tiers of time entirely, so they place Ebor Thawne inside of Wally West's mind, corrupting him to cause him to run faster than he ever has before. If Wally doesn't, obviously his family would be harmed in the process. Our boy that we know and love, Wallace Rudolph West, you know, the same guy who cracked hyper time, one of the craziest feats ever, decides to go faster than any character in existence has ever gone, exiting creation entirely.
Why did the 7 deadly sins remove Escanor from the anime? Escanor, one of the 7 deadly sins, is known as the strongest member of the group, but why did the anime decide to take him out of the story? The main reason is that Escanor was becoming too popular and almost overshadowing Meliodas, the main character. From the moment
I get home and there's no... It was a child who had just been cured of a life-threatening disease when the plane nose-dove into a Philadelphia street last night. The little girl's family, who is Mexican, had received a donation to be flown to Shriners Children's Hospital, which is in Philadelphia, to receive treatment for a, quote, life-threatening illness. She had completed treatment and had been released from the hospital literally minutes before the crash happened. The staff at Shriners said they had just had a little party for her, like moments before this crash, to celebrate being cured of her illness and being discharged from the hospital and being able to go home to her family in Mexico. The plane, which was ultimately headed to Tijuana, took a nosedive 30 seconds into the flight, killing the little girl, her mom, 2 doctors, a pilot, a co-pilot, and a man on the ground who was sitting in his car. They haven't said what caused the crash yet, but I can't imagine what the family of this little girl is going through. I can't even fathom.
Hey,
You've been scrolling for a while now.
And anyone who's late for registration will be disqualified. Mokuba, make sure Wheeler's like you don't have any idea what this thing means.
What happened to you back there?
Well, no way am I ever becoming Alien X again. Why not? When it was working, you kicked massive butt. Yeah, the most powerful transformation ever. It isn't worth the price. You're supposed to be love and compassion. How can you let a whole world die? And you're supposed to be anger and aggression. How can you let bad stuff go unpunished? How can you both be so useless?
We changed the very nature of space and time.
You don't do anything. Billions of lives at stake and you're all, oh, the procedure.
All right, I move we save the Earth. Happy?
No. Just let me out of here. I got 9 other guys who can do it better.
Fuck you, Kakarot.
So my cat scratched. So my cat scratched the shit out of me right on the end of a scythe tattoo. This is kind of dope, honestly. This goes kind of hard. It really stings though. It stings a lot. It's fine. So my cat scratched the shit out of me.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen, I gotta.
No, I pushed you out of my ass, and I gotta sign a fucking lease.
What, mom?
Fuck out.
Somebody gonna say I'm fucked up, but I'm having my mom sign a lease agreement.
This is what we doing.
Listen. Somebody gonna. Somebody.
They pack this stuff really great, and repacking it's not as good. But yeah, so it's like a full-size backpack strap.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you whip it. I'm gonna get these. They're better on a ski movie. Yeah. No.
Whoa.
Isn't that great?
That came from that?
Yeah. Yeah, it like curls up and then you have to keep puffing it out on pieces.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they got the best ingenuity for that kind of stuff, like what fabrics will be puffy enough.
That was amazing.
Yeah. And then if you get stuck, they get a survival blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. But they have these like demo people come in and show us stuff. But it's really great, yeah.
Are you selling a lot of those?
The laziest country in the world is super relaxed. In this country, people are so chill, they don't even pick up money from the ground. That country is Switzerland. Switzerland is one of the richest countries with high living standards. People earn a lot and work less. Most Swiss people only work 3 days a week. Education from kindergarten to college is free, and healthcare is covered, so no one worries about hospital bills. Saving money, most Swiss don't even think about it. They prefer to enjoy life and spend freely. Swiss banks are famous, but most of the money there belongs to foreigners, not locals. Here's the crazy part. In Switzerland, if you're a legal resident, you get 2,000 Swiss francs, $2,200 every month, even if you don't work. Some people don't even bother to pick up that money. In 2016, the government tried making payments mandatory, but 70% of the Swiss protested, saying they didn't need the government's help. So does this country make you want to move there? The laziest country in the world is
That's crazy.
Cartoon character.
They had a protest.
Here's what they grow up. Here's how the Powerpuff Girls.
Liking Boruto in 2020.
Ask me anything. I'm an open book. Tell me about feedback. That book's closed. By all indications, feedback was your most utilized alien form for a long stretch of time in your early career. Then suddenly, and without explanation, your use abruptly ceased for good. Curious, no? No, I don't want to talk about it. Isn't that much? Feedback was my go-to alien. I don't know why I liked it so much. It just felt different. Better. He was part of me.
Losing this transformation you call feedback was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it felt like he was a part of me.
Well, you can let that one loss define you from now on. Or you can learn from it.
Huh? You can see me now?
Did you learn from it?
Yeah, that losing bites. Look, I don't think there's any big takeaway from our big fail back then.
Guess you're still mad at me.
Dude, no, I'm mad at... You know what? Maybe I gotta forgive you. / me.
You do?
Yeah. We're not losers. Beating ourselves up is just doing a favor for malware and everyone else we ever go up against. So from now on, let's save the beatdowns for the bad guys. Deal?
You guys remember that one time?
Now that I think about it, XXXTentacion was low-key corny as hell. Because no way in hell we all used to think that this was tough.
Do you have any relationship with your father? What's that? What's a father?
Come on! And I know for a fact when we were younger, we all used to watch this and get in our feels. Like, oh my god, my life is so hard. This is so relatable. But bro, don't even play this game. You know damn well what a father is. This right here is max level clip farm. XXXTentacion was out here clip farming before clip farming even fucking existed. And this isn't to throw any shade at who he was as a rapper, because low-key, I used to like some of his music. Some of his music was pretty damn good. But this right here is a picture of a drawing that XXXTentacion made, and there's no fucking way we all used to think this was tough. Come on now, we all used to know that one motherfucker that would draw some shit like this on the middle school desk, and looking back on it, that was corny as fuck. Like, what the fuck were we doing, y'all? Like I said, this is absolutely no shade to who this man was as a rapper. Some of his songs were absolutely phenomenal. But what's up?
No wonder Pete Davidson's 100 tattoos burned to ashes. His lover is dead. In Pete Davidson's latest appearance, it was astonishing to find that nearly 100 of his tattoos had faded or even disappeared. This is closely related to his ex-girlfriends. In 2016, Pete started a 3-year relationship with Cassie David. To express his love, Pete tattooed Cassie's childhood self-portrait on his body and even tattooed Cassie's name on his ring finger. However, after Cassie fell in love with someone else, the tattoo didn't remain permanently covered. Soon after, Pete's relationship with Ariana Grande heated up rapidly. He got 10 tattoos in one go, including tattoos of their pets and Ariana's catchphrases. All of these tattoos faded away after Ariana left. In addition, during his relationship with Kim Kardashian, he directly tattooed the initials of the children she had with her ex-husband on his body. But this couldn't hold on to Kardashian's ever-changing heart either. Now, facing the failure of one relationship after another, the tattoos that represented love and commitment have lost their original meaning. No wonder Pete Davidson's 100 tattoos burned to ashes. His lover is dead. In Pete Davidson...
I feel sorry for anyone who wrapped their Cybertruck. Apparently it's not even safe to wrap a Cybertruck. Apparently wrap shops just forgot you're only supposed to wrap painted surface.
Pokemon encounters that make no sense, Part 3. Absol is one of my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon, but there's one thing about its debut in the series that doesn't quite add up. Right off the bat, two things are made clear in the Pokedex about Absol. First, it can predict natural disasters. And second, important to us, it lives in harsh, mountainous environments. Pretty straightforward. Yet, where is Absol in Hoenn? Route 120. Hilly, maybe, but rugged and mountainous? I don't think so. And Mount Chimney is right there. Talk about a harsh environment. What makes this a little more damning, too, is where Absol can be encountered in every other game. Platinum, the summit of Mount Coronet. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, basically every cave in the game, with the Hoenn Sound radio. Black and White, the Giant Chasm. Down the list, Absol is almost always in a cave or on a mountain. Yet in its debut, it's in a relatively green and pleasant locale. A little rain, sure, but that's nothing for Absol. What do you think? Pokemon encounters that make no sense, Part 3.
I don't know you anymore.
So my friend over here has brought me a rough stone. What is it supposed to be?
Supposed to be diamond.
This is a diamond?
I have to check inside.
Well, come on, bro.
Or with a strong light.
Strong light's not going to help you here, bro. This could be something here. Where did you get these?
It's from Connecticut.
Oh, from Connecticut.
Yes.
Okay.
This is give me something, no?
I mean, did you pick them up yourself? You found it on the beach?
Yes.
I don't know how many diamonds they have in Connecticut, my friend. I wish you the best of luck with this, man.
No, this is it's like medium rare.
Medium well, or it might be the case. If you're really looking for a bargain, this gentleman right here, he's got some stones for you. He got them in Connecticut, but we're gonna keep that a secret. And you never know. There might be a
Now
diamond.
the change color.
Listen, this is why I stick to.
Hello, thank you so much for joining my name is Susan. For quality assurance and verification.